our last news story of the day. We got inflation numbers back, folks. Remember last time we had these numbers? It went from 9.1 to like 8.5. And Joe Biden was like, oh, well, inflation's zero. We have 0% inflation. And everybody's like, what the hell are you talking about, man? You sure in hell ain't reading from that teleprompter, because the teleprompter can't be wrong. Because the teleprompter's wrong, that means your staff's wrong. Because it's not that too far off of being true. The Consumer Price Index, CPI, rose 8.3% between August 2021 and August 2022, according to Tuesday's report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The reading marks a decline from the 8.5%, so we dropped basically 0.2% year-over-year rate seen in July, and the 9.1% that we just spoke of earlier, year-over-year rate seen since June, as gasoline prices continue to fall. And what you're going to have is Democrats and the progressive left push how inflation's coming down. Oh, kumbaya, look at all our prices of goods and services have dropped. The way it's doing is you got gas prices falling, which is a good thing. That obviously is a good thing, but it's not offsetting in the way that you think it is. We're still paying way more for prices of goods and services. However, month-over-month prices for food, shelter, and medical services continue to tick upward, producing a 0.1% overall price increase from July. So it's not much, right? You're looking at 0.1%, but they've still gone up, meaning literally for this entire year, since we're looking from August now to August in 2021, you are paying over 8% more for goods and services. And sometimes it's more than that, right? These are basically just averages taken across basically all goods. So some goods are up like 30%, some goods are up 20%. So you go to the grocery store, you're paying vastly more for that product than you were just a year ago. Or in other words, since Joe Biden took office as well. However, month-over-month prices for food, shelter, and medical service again continue to tick upwards. Economists had expected headline inflation to fall 0.1%. Quote, the substantial decline in gasoline prices is noteworthy, but doesn't address the overall problem with inflation, Bankrate senior economic analyst Mark Hamrick told the Daily Wire, noting that August report contains unpleasant surprises apparently. Prices for food at home, a category that includes grocery store or supermarket food purchases, increased 0.7% from the previous month, meaning they have not gone down, they've only gotten worse. Granted, not substantially, but in totality of things, since Joe Biden's taken office, since this inflation has upticked, you are paying drastically more for food. Meanwhile, prices for natural gas and electricity rose 3.5% and 1.5% respectively. So now you're getting into whole percentages, right, of 3.5 for electricity, as well as natural gas at 1.5 or vice versa. So energy's gone up, food's gone up, gas prices have decreased, which is what's giving us that 0.2 offset from what we've seen of the prior month. Indeed, core inflation, the price level increase for all items except for food and energy, saw a 0.6% increase in August, making a faster rate of increase than July. But remember, he was boasting before that somehow we had 0% inflation, right? As we keep saying, this administration's probably the most administration I've seen that tries to gaslight the American people than I've ever seen before. It's almost like we're dealing with China here in a way, right? Some dictatorship, some communist country where they're basically telling you that things aren't happening as they literally are happening. The best example we've always talked about here on the show is the MSNBC host sitting there saying, hey, it's mostly peaceful, while there's freaking cities and buildings burning behind him and people looting stores left and right, throwing crap at the camera and at him. It's not happening as you're freaking watching with your own eyes and listening and seeing it actually happening. That's basically what's going on here with the Biden administration. It's all right. Inflation's going to be fine. We're going to push through the Inflation Reduction Act. Doesn't actually reduce inflation. So here we are. They already passed it. It's already a done deal. And inflation's gone up, but it's called the Inflation Reduction Act. You can't make it up. You could even write this if you wanted to. Again, there was a 0.6% increase in August, marking a faster rate of increase than July and producing a 6.3% year-over-year rate. Economists were expecting core inflation to rise 0.3. Not even freaking close again. Joe Biden's he's outpacing the own economists. They're sitting there hedging the bet going, okay, hey, you know what? Maybe not 0.1. Let's make it 0.3, folks. There's no way in hell he's going to beat that. 6.3%. Not even close. Joe freaking knocked it out of the park once again, just like he did with freaking illegal immigration. Nobody's beaten the guy in terms of these numbers. Regardless of the negative surprises, President Joe Biden claimed victory and that it was essentially flat now. So he went from 0% inflation to now that it's flat, which in a nutshell, basically what he's saying, it's 0% again. without actually saying it because I got hounded so much by people like the Bald Brad Show, us here, and other people at the Daily Wire and other outlets. Check this out. Quote, it will take more time and resolve to bring inflation down, which is why we passed the Inflation Reduction Act to lower costs of healthcare, prescription drugs, and energy, of which literally we just got to talk about went up. It's so rich. It is so rich to go over this. And my economic plan is showing that as we bring prices down, we are creating good paying jobs and bring manufacturing back to America. Good paying jobs. Yes. Yes. Folks, if you're paying more for a certain labor that you were before, that inflates things. Honest to God, he's an idiot. The administration's an idiot. They're all idiots. Last month, multiple White House officials spun the July inflation rate by noting that inflation was, on paper, 0%, even as they failed to mention the continually rising prices for food and other commodities. So we're seeing the same thing here, except they're saying it stays flat, right? It's just a reversal of kind of the wording and thinking to manipulate it and to basically assume that it's almost zero when it's flat, right? But it's so rich to say that freaking the plan is showing that we are bringing prices down. No, you're not. We just got done saying virtually all prices are up other than fuel prices. Energy's up. Okay. Eggs are up. And go to the grocery store, just look at everything. Hell, you can see with your own eyes. It's objective. You can all look at it, but this is the White House. This is what they've been doing for a year now, gaslighting all of us, saying things aren't happening when they actually are happening, and then spinning it and saying, oh, it's the previous administration's fault. All this, illegal immigration, everything that's happening around the globe is all Trump's fault. It's just amazing how those things work. It's amazing how they don't want to put the blame on themselves because they know if they do, that they're not going to get reelected. Folks, there's people that are still going to vote for this guy. I mean, you could go on TikTok. I mean, there's people like, oh, Joe Biden's better than Trump. Honest to God, you just can't be all there. If you think that Joe Biden is better than Trump, you got something wrong with you. I'm not saying Trump's the best guy ever. I'm not saying he doesn't have flaws. That's not what I'm saying. Look at around. Just look at around you. Supply chain issues, Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, Iran, North Korea, just passing certain things saying, hey, if something happens to Kim Jong-un, we're going to freaking nuke the hell out of people, always threaten us. You still got Iran saying death to America, trying to push through a nuclear deal, once again, of which Joe Biden wants to sign. You got record inflation happening. You got record illegal immigration happening. You're paying more for goods and services. Your rent's gone up. Wages have gone down in some areas, in some sectors. It's just there's everything that pretty much has gone wrong is going wrong. So there you have it. Inflation numbers gone down a tiny bit, but in totality, hidden behind those numbers, you're actually paying more for energy, foods, and services. Well, folks, let me know what you think about all this. Do you like being gaslit by the White House? Do you like Joe Biden lying to you? Do you like Karine Jean-Pierre stepping on that podium and lying to all of you each and every day? I sure in hell don't, but hey, people are still going to vote for this guy and this administration over Trump or DeSantis. It's unbelievable. Like I said, let me know what you think about all this. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.